我可能趴脚会很被的。不好意思啊，因为我走掉。
你有吗？
现在有
有吗？现在有吗？
对，这样的，这边啊，这声音啊，哦，有，你有自己。
Hi guys, this is Stevie here from High Fly Asia. Finally, today our Facebook Live is a very special one because we are doing it all the way from my office because now we can do can't start work already. And I'm getting very excited because doing Facebook Live should be in this kind of environment because it makes it a lot more interesting. And of course, today we have a very special guest, and this special guest is a good friend of mine. And she's the general manager of Shiseido Malaysia, and she'll be talking about, because usually I invite a lot of entrepreneurs and also maybe celebrities to be talking about personal branding. And today is a very special one because we are going to invite a corporate lady to talk about personal branding in the corporate environment. Now, this friend of mine, Stephanie Tay, is very, very awesome, right? You know, the record of her resume is so amazing, you know. She is 12 years in the beauty industry. Not only that, in between, she has 6 years of experience becoming an entrepreneur. So she is like the hybrid, the entrepreneurs and corporate lady there. And so definitely every time I talk to her, she always applied the entrepreneur mindset inside the corporate environment. And that is where she achieved achievement after achievement, success after success because of that successful mindset that she has, okay? And she has worked in 5 different countries, and her last biggest role was L'Oreal Global position in Paris. Now, she is the first Malaysian that has ever have in a global position in L'Oreal HQ in Paris. And she got that position at the age of 29 years old. And we are very proud to have her as our guest today. Now, before I invite her to come up, I would like to ask the audience now, if you like what you're seeing, can you please like, comment, and share this posting, this Facebook Live, so that more people will be understanding the different aspect of personal branding in the corporate environment. But before I get them to come up, I will probably just say hi to some of you who already joined me. Now, hi Sylvia. Now, hi Eric, Guru, Elvin, Robin, thank you for joining. Penny, Lion, hi, Alex, Karen, Brian, Angie. Now, if you're in the house, can I trouble you to like, comment, and share this Facebook Live so that more people will benefit out of this amazing Facebook Live that we have. And we have Stephanie Tay, the General Manager of Shiseido Malaysia, is going to be with us very shortly. And definitely, we will be seeing her and sharing, talk about different topic, different aspect about how she applied personality in the corporate environment. Hi, Brian. Hi, Angie. Thank you for joining us. Please remember to like, comment, and share this Facebook Live so that we are able to have more people to be joining us. Now, without much ado, let us give a big round of applause by the means of like. Okay, so just type like or maybe give a heart so that is a big welcome to our good friend here, my good friend Stephanie Tay. Dun-dun-dun. Oops. Hi, Steph. Hi. Oh, okay. So your mic is again. So wait, let me see. So,
hi, can you hear me now?
Okay. Now can. Okay, you unmute yourself, yeah? Okay, so Steph, thank you very much for joining us at this Facebook Live. Do you manage to figure out the sharing part?
Yeah, I did finally.
Okay, good. Okay, no worries. There's always, always this technical glitch that we have. Okay, Steph. Now, before we even start, can we probably discuss? Do you actually remember when we first met?
You caught me there. I'm very sorry. It's so hard to remember. It's been a while.
So you cannot really remember where we first met, right?
A bit too long ago, I think.
Too long ago. Okay. I don't want to push you because I kind of give you the hint. These questions like maybe a week ago, and I think it's quite tough because sometimes we met a lot of people along the way, and then we probably can't remember we can remember where we meet the last time, but we cannot remember we meet the first time. Okay, yes. So I will let you remember that for your husband, but no need for me. Okay. Okay. So you remember it's actually a wash event.
Watch event.
Wash event. Hi, I cannot hear you again.
Yes,
wash
Star
event.
Hill?
I give you a wash event. Star Hill.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
You remember Charmaine? Remember Charmaine?
Yes, I know Charmaine. Yeah. I'm still in contact with Charmaine.
Charmaine, right? You know Charmaine?
Yeah.
Yeah, Charmaine invite us for a private dinner at Star Hill. So
yes, now
there's
I
only
remember.
a group of us, remember?
Yes, now I remember. It was a private dinner.
And that is where we met one Malaysian who is doing IPO in Hong Kong, Kerwei also. That's where we meet.
Yes.
That we were all in the same
correct.
Table of 10. And it was quite a good, intimate. That's where I get to know you. And eventually, I think after that, we kind of, we meet up and we was have a lot to talk about because one of your close friends happened to be my ex-colleague in the Singapore Airlines. So we kind of chit-chat a little bit on that. Correct, no? And then Shiseido becomes one of the sponsors for one of the Miss Malaysia pageant, and you invited me over to attend that. That is where it slowly flourished into our friendship, and I really like it because beside the airline, which I don't consider is a corporate environment, because airline is a little bit different. I never ever have a experience in any corporate environment. So, but I do understand that in the corporate environment, it's also very tricky. You need to apply a lot of the right mindset and also the right positioning. Why? Because there's so many colleagues there. So there's many, we call it, I don't like to use the word competitor, but we call it someone that is also possible to be moving up as much as you. So that's why here itself, I like to ask, especially, do you know that when I left the university, right, because I graduated from National University of Singapore, do you know all of us, right? One of our interview is actually we went for a L'Oreal interview.
Did you make it?
No, I didn't make it. It was so tough. My God.
It is very tough.
Oh my God, it's so tough. It's the first one is the paper interview, and then we need to go to there to have an IQ interview or whatever shit interview, and there's so many interview after interview and things like that. But some of my classmates actually got in, and they stay for quite some time inside, and that's why today I would like to ask you. I think the audience also want to find out more a little bit is how do you actually ignite in terms of personal branding in able to get yourself moving up in the corporate environment?
Like you say, it's a competition because you have so many peers, right? So the whole idea is, like you say, personal branding. You need to brand yourself, meaning you want to be recognized for something. So for me is I want to be recognized by my bosses or by my top guys that I am actually someone who they usually call a hypo, which is a high potential. So I make sure that, yes, so I make sure that I create my own opportunity that I can actually sell myself. I have a very strange principle. The whole idea is if you're stuck in a lift with a big boss, you got 15 seconds. He doesn't know you, never met you before. You're just a junior. Are you able to sell yourself and make a big impression in 15 seconds? So that's what basically I try to train myself to do. So it's in corporate world, it's not just about managing the top, it's also managing the bottom. So at the same time for my team, I want to be seen as a boss that is not, that's a lot more generous and nurturing when it comes to sharing knowledge and mentorship. Whereas in a very cutthroat world, usually everybody is, for themselves. So I try to manage both personal branding with my team and on top.
So then you see, you use the word very fine. You say hypo, right?
Yeah.
That means it's high potential, isn't it? Correct.
Yeah.
So my question is, do you think that some of your colleagues will call you a high potential in front of you, but behind you they will say that you're very high kind of thing? Possible?
No, I'm not the political sort, but the thing is, nobody tells you you're hypo. But of course, it's a very common in the corporate world for management to recognize high potential staff for them to see, to groom, to grow, to to be fast tracked in promotions and things like that. So the idea is that you want to be recognized as a hypo, so you work towards that. Whether or not people think I'm this or that, then I'm sorry, I'm very good at shutting off when it comes to competition.
Isn't it? Correct. Hey, you brought a very good point. I learned this in the airline days. Do you know why? Because in the airline days, especially in the crew, right, I have a lot of my junior or my senior, which they are like you. They are very driven. What they do is they sacrifice their off days and go back to the training center and help out and volunteer to groom the junior. And for me, I precious my off day, so I don't do that sort. But the reality is they got promoted and I'm not. And each time that happens, that time is still my old me, not my new me. Okay, so my old me will say, "Oh my God, this one, of course lah, go back office, high and things." I didn't realize the importance of now. If you are good, especially during the airline, if you are good in your work and nobody know that you're good, there's no use because the management position will not fly all the time, and you will not be on your flight all the time. So the best is you go back to the training center. That's where all the management is there. So like what you say, like beside you are good, you need to be appearing in front of the right people and kind of like show them that you are good, because there are so many corporate and people around. So that I think that what you're doing is amazing. If I could have known it earlier, I probably get promoted faster, but wish maybe I will be stuck in the airline forever.
I think there is one, it's an Asian culture mistake. It's an Asian myth that I don't have to show I'm good. So they take a back seat. I'm just good, but I don't have to show I'm good. If the company recognize me, then good for me. But if they don't, then too bad. Well,
that is a destiny, they say. Destiny.
Yeah. So it doesn't work like that. Not when it comes to competition. And it's not like you're trying to do it well, meaning do it morally well. You don't step on someone to go up. You do it because you do well, meaning you have proven records. You have shown great results. You just need to make it known that you did it, Yeah.
So it's very important, because the thing is, we are not asking you to fake it, but we're just asking you to, if you are good, let as many people know that you are good, isn't it? Because that is the fact that is what I'm pushing in terms of personal branding is also. Because whenever time the personal branding, people have a tendency to say, "Oh, I don't like to show off." Who asked you to show off? I never even asked you to show off, right? So it's like the choice of words is needed to be, kind of tweak it a little bit. Personal branding is not about showing off. Personal branding is not about high. Personal branding is not about faking yourself. It's about being, it's just being yourself. You are good. Just tell as many people that you are good. That's all. Yeah. The more people know that you are good, the more people can help you along the way, isn't it?
And also, people are looking for good people to support in business, to collaborate with. So they are looking. So why can't you just put up your hand and go, "Hi, I'm here."
Right. and especially like now you're the GM of Shiseido. Now, when you do hiring also, you also will get recommendations. Okay, tell me who is good. Tell me how they perform and all this. You cannot be safely. You go down to the floor and just monitor everyone. Because the time is limited, right? So you probably will still also ask for people recommendations. And this recommendation is based on how do you put yourself out there to as many people as possible, isn't it?
Yeah, because people will talk about you and go, who's the boss? Like, what is she like? Is she nasty? Is she this? Is she that? So people will want to know who you are too. So you need to also have a personal branding that people can actually, when they ask about you, at least someone can give a good feedback, hopefully. That's what we hope for,
So all these are getting very excited because we have some of your audience here, and they are kind of like credits where credits due, love with open mind, it's one of all these so lady boss. So I think I kind of like like it, because today we are talking about in the corporate environment. So if the audience in the house, if you like it, can you please trouble you to like, comment, and share this Facebook Live so that more people will be benefit from this. And also trouble you, if you have any questions in the house, maybe you can actually drop it in the comment, and we'll be asking Stephanie Tay on how she make it later part. Now, there's one question I want to ask you, because in one of the resume, you say that you are the first Malaysian in the global position in the Royal HQ in Paris at the age of 29 years old. Now, how do you differentiate yourself from the rest of the Malaysians to be able to be in that position? What makes you so special? How do you make it? I'm sure that this question has been asked a lot of times, and I think that for the benefit of this Facebook Live, I would like you to repeat this again so that more people will benefit from your success story in terms of your differentiations.
There is actually no secret formula to this. I'm not special. Actually, to be honest, it's very simple. I'm super hungry. I'm super hungry to learn. I'm always reading, trying to find out. I'm always asking mentors, like, you know, about experiences. I'm very hungry to succeed. I'm very ambitious. At the same time, how I managed to get there is because I have vision for brands. I think a lot of times people are very short term. They look at business, they know where they want to be this year. They may not know where they want to be next year. For me, when I build brands, I know where I want to be in the next 5 years. So I know where I'm heading, and I chart that out. So a lot of times it's also proven record. So under my experience, I basically have built brands from nothing to market leaders today. I've turned around negative businesses to positive. So through all this is the one that basically secures me where, you know, the bosses can see. It's definitely about proven records. That's all I can say. But it comes with a lot of sweat, tears. While people were partying, I was working. It's like that.
So does that mean that you have a tendency is in you that you want to prove others wrong, that nothing is impossible? So example is like when things like look so, like people will say, oh, possible that it cannot be because it's a negative one, it's a hard work, this one. Okay, I'll prove you wrong. So I want to take up this challenge. So are you that kind of person, right?
I don't. That's the funny thing about me. I don't do things for people. That's why I'm good at shutting off. I do things for me. Like I said, I'm super ambitious. I'm super hungry. At 16 years old, I knew what I wanted to do already, and I know where I want to go. So for me, I only have one goal, and it's not about people, but my goal is to be the fastest and youngest in any position that I am in the corporate world. So for me, that was my goal. So because I was chasing to be the youngest and fastest, that's all I care about. You know, it's like a horse. I have blinkers, you know, and I'm just charging in front, not looking what's happening on the side. I'm just very focused in my end goal.
Now, people always say balance, right? Because as much as you're shutting off, but we also know our journey to our destinations, we also need people to support us. How do you balance it out between shutting off, but by maintaining the relationship building with the right people? How do you manage that?
When I say shutting off, I just mean shutting off people's negativity. There will people say, are you crazy? Nobody gets that position at that age. You know, are you insane? You know, like the world will never believe in you. So you need to believe in yourself. When I say shut off means I shut off negativity or anyone who tries to bring me down. My balance is I'm always hanging out with positive people. If you're not positive, because negative energy takes a lot from a person. A positive energy goes very far. So for me, you know, to be mentally negative is very mentally challenging and very tiring. So I surround myself with people who are willing to share experiences, mentors, for example, people who are very encouraging and very positive, because I do the same for my friends as well. So you need support. Supporting each other is important, but being in a very positive environment is even more important for you to be successful.
Right. First of all, I think that you brought up a very good point. First of all, let us have a goal of where we want to go.
Yeah.
Then we find people that support our goal. and can contribute and value add to the goal, and we move towards that goal.
Yes.
So I mean that is no brainer, because but most of the time I feel that people like to entertain the negativity part of it, because the moment when you entertain negativity part, that's where you get yourself to bring yourself down a little bit, because somehow somewhere, you know, we are work in progress, and we want to be strong, but there are certain times we are not that strong, and certain time you let any negativity come in, that is where you start having that something called doubt, and this doubt is actually quite scary, because if you let it stay for a long time, it will be totally switch off a lot of your goals in front of you, isn't it?
Yeah. Right. So staying positive, it's but you need to train yourself too. You know, you need to train yourself to stay positive, and you need to talk to yourself. I mean, if there's a secret, it's you need to talk to yourself. So
the prep talk is quite important, right?
Yeah, the self-talk, like, it's okay, it's going to be okay today, we'll find a way today, you know. So you need to be strong inside. When you are, for me, I know they always say it's not about you, but for me it is about you. You come first. When you love yourself, when you are confident, when you are positive, everything falls in place. But when you are not stable, the world crumbles, because let's put it this way, life is not easy. So, and it's not easy for anyone. I don't understand when people say there's a good year and a bad year. To me, in a year, there's always a good and a bad. So, but I always choose to look at the good than the bad. So so when people ask me, oh, last year was a bad year, I'm like, every year is a good year, you know, but that's because I have a different mental state of mind. So that's the driving thing.
I think I like what you say here is like, I always say this on my last visit of attending Michelle Obama talk. She brought out this part is good and bad is part and parcel of the process. Yeah. We do not need to bring up, heighten up, magnify the bad thing or magnify the good thing, but rather than these are all part and parcel moving on to our goal. So it's our goal that matters the most. But whatever comes along, we embrace it as much as possible, isn't it?
Yes.
Right. So being at the first Malaysian in the global position in L'Oreal HQ in Paris at the age of 29, has someone ever break your record after so long? Do you manage to check?
Well, in that global position, I don't think so. But in the Asia position, yes. The Asia Pacific position, yes. But yeah.
So you are still the title holder for this one.
I think so, but I think that's because they restructured or something like that. So I'm not.
I see. Then pretend that restructure never happened. So you still claim as that title position now, because that's most important, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now I'd like to ask you one. I just make it a little bit more, more fun a little bit, because you are so determined and so committed, and you know what you want. But out of curiosity, if you could able switch brain with anyone in the world, now who would it be? I'm just curious, and why?
I would switch brain with Elon Musk, because I want to ask him, why did you do that dance?
Okay, so what do you think will he say?
He probably goes, why not?
Right,
I'm Elon Musk. I can do anything I want.
Correct, right? I think I have the same sentiment as you, because somewhere it's like the more you are on top, the more you want to prove to people that why things has to be this way or that way. As long as it deliver, why do you care about how the way that needed to be done? So I think somewhere with the pressure coming in from the society expectations that things has to be that way or what. So I guess certain thing, whether is out of purposely or out of not purposely, but I think you just want to shake things a little bit to have the people to talk about. What do you think?
Yeah, I guess that happens a lot, but yeah.
Even Steve Jobs is also the same thing. Even a lot of people are the same thing. I say somehow it's like going against the norm kind of thing, right?
Yeah, but I think today what they are showing that is very different from maybe 10, 20 years ago, it's that as leaders, you can be relatable. I think that's what digital world has changed a lot of people where, I mean, today, many years ago, CEOs always wear suits and ties. Today, because of digital world, a lot of CEOs today are like in smart casual, like suit and ties, like where are you going, you know? So, I think being relatable is the main thing now. That's why you see what Elon Musk does, what he does, Steve Jobs does what he does. And they're all very casual clothes as well. For them, is maybe selling themselves and selling their product and what they believe in is probably more powerful than than the whole exterior maybe.
Right. So we talked about this part because this part is also very tricky. You're saying that being relatable. I always say this: when you're on the top, you are being relatable. You wear t-shirt and jeans. People find that it's cool. But when you're climbing up, can you please dress appropriately because you are not there yet? So I always say this because people always like to tweak it away, right? Oh, just because Elon Musk do it, I have to do it. But hello, your pocket is it Elon Musk or not? Are you as famous as Elon Musk or not? Are you as what or not? So I feel like this part is always very important. We must see that at what position we are. So like what you say, relatable is because you are on the top, you'll try to relate it with the bottom or the mainstream. So I think that part, I think it makes sense from that perspective.
Well, I'm in the beauty business, so not naturally, we're just like you in airlines. We are trained and groomed to be, to be quite well presentable most of the time. It's almost hard to walk out looking bad. So, but for me, I don't think it's whether you're on top that you can dress casually or you're bottom, you cannot. But for me, very important is time and place. That's the most key. Like you don't go to a casual cafe and wear a gown, but if you're in a meeting room and have a proper meeting, I expect everyone to have some form of level of respect for themselves and come presentable. So it's really time and place really dressing, how you dress is how you present yourself. If you want to show you're sloppy, by all means, you're already presenting yourself that way because first impression, you cannot run away from it. It's important.
And also respect the host, respect the dress code and all these things, right? Right.
Also, it's a form of respecting yourself.
True. I think by respecting others is also part of respecting ourselves, right? So we have Alvin in the house. Hi, Alvin. Thanks for joining. Camellia Jane Rowe. Jay Jasdan, I think this one is for you because they want to meet you again. Raymond Chow, I'm quite sure he's talking about you because this lady is pretty hot. And we have Mr. Lai who will say hi to Steve and Stephanie Tay. So thank you very much for joining us. So if you like this Facebook Live, can you tell you to like, comment, and share this Facebook Live so that more people will get behind the scene of finding out a little bit about how do we do corporate brand, personal branding in the corporate environment. Hi, Roy. Now, here, I'd like to ask you because you just started work, right? You just go back to office? Have you started
go back to office? Yeah, I just went back to office. Yesterday,
right? So now I ask you, so during this MCO and the COVID-19 crisis, how is your company or yourself re-strategizing in order to kind of embrace the whole situations? Because it's, we are talking, we are reading newspaper and I say that 2 million people are going to be retrenched and things like that. So what is your thought about this and how are you re-strategizing it?
Well, in terms of the company, I would say Shiseido is a Japanese company and they're quite good at taking care of their staff. So we're not at a very bad risk compared to other companies yet. So in terms of now, what we've actually just started to manage is just, a partial team A, team B working from home and 50% working from home and 50% working in your office. So that's what we've been managing now for the safety of the staff. But in terms of business, I would say we are repositioning ourselves in terms of even our campaigns. It's because prior to this, before MCO, a lot of our marketing campaigns was all about events, CRM programs, about the consumer one-to-one, outposts, in a big outpost, Mid Valley, KLCC, Pavilion. But today we are actually re-strategizing because everything's going online. But when you say online, everyone says, yeah, everyone's online, but it's how you do it online. So for me now, it's our brands is not about to just sell a product. Every consumer now have changed their values and their perception and what's important and what's essential in their life. And everyone is reevaluating their life values. So for that, when your brand goes out there on digital, it's very important to be able to connect with your consumers. When you sell your brand, you need to sell a connection, a consumer journey with the consumer. And it's not about putting it out there and then advertising the hell out of it and then go, it's 50% off, buy one, free one now, brands that actually stands for something that connects with consumers will have a much higher perception of value in the consumer's eyes today and will be highly noticed compared to the other brands that are just throwing prices because they are desperate. It's short term. So you will really stand out. On top of that, don't stop advertising. A lot of people go, okay, it's bad. Let's cut everything out. Let's just stay low because sales is low. Guess what? Now's the best time because you have less competitors. There's less noise in the market. That if you advertise, you'll be heard, you'll be seen. Last time you have to fight for hello during prime spot, right? Prime time, price spot. You pay, big boys pay. Everybody wants to be seen. Now there are lesser people investing in A&P. So you go out there and go, I'm here, and people can see you and hear you. So that's important.
Amazing. You brought up a very good point because, I always learning from my mentor. I always say that while everyone is retreating, it doesn't mean you need to retreat. You need to go all the way out because that is where you have less competition in showing yourself. Now, because Shiseido is a Japanese brand, and of course, I have a flair in terms of understanding a little bit about the Japanese culture. And I know also Shiseido is empowering women a lot in terms of their campaign. Especially like now during MCO, where we heard about a lot of domestic violence is going on, a lot of because now retrenchment is going on. Given a choice whether a company will want to hire a male or female, and the female will come with more responsibility. Example, if maybe get pregnant, because so many people are getting pregnant right nowadays because of the MCO. Okay, and you have to take care of the family. You have to, your mother, your things. So choices wise for an employer, generally, of course, we want to have a fair, but in terms of the practical part, they would like to get someone who have not so much of responsibility and things like that. So I feel that, so now I want to ask you, because your experience in Shiseido and it's also in Japan, and Japan is like women empowerment is so tricky.
It's getting better.
It's getting better, but what is your thought? What is your thought? Because you are Malaysians, woman. Shiseido is Japanese. So when you go there, do you find that there is any differences in that?
Ever since the change of our chairman, our new Japanese chairman, Mr. Otani-san, he actually came in and really pushed forward women empowerment and women in management. So from there, he actually has gone to CNN to talk about, how many women he's put up there as a country manager, like even our country manager in Malaysia is local for the first time. Thailand now has a local MD. Singapore has a local MD. You will see more and more of this happening. So he has, whereas previously was all Japanese male bosses on top. So there is even VPs of Asia Pacific are women. So there's, and of course, this is Shiseido. So as their company philosophy, they are actually actively charging forward with this. So even in Malaysia, there's a lot of top managers that are actually even females.
So roughly how many percentage is that, in terms of the workforce?
In our company?
Yeah, or male-female ratio. Is there any? No.
Because we're beauty business, we're mostly female.
Oh, that's good. I mean, it has to, right? No,
We're mostly
I mean,
female.
because I purposely asked that is because don't tell me that a company is promoting women empowerment and then they're all males. So it doesn't make sense because you have to walk on the top, right? So I think this is a good thing, right? Because I feel empowering women is very important, right? Now, especially for me from the airline, right? Unfortunately, I feel there is also a little bit tricky in terms of the women empowerment because the flight attendant, the stewardess, generally are ladies, but when we move up, may not be that issue, right? Especially in the supervisor part and the more higher ranking. I think they are doing the changes, but it's still a little bit tricky. That's why, like for me, I really enforce a lot about women empowerment, especially in my company. I say, I don't know why all my staff are ladies because I think that maybe I really think that they are more sensitive and easier to be, to work on the projects that I'm handling a little bit more compared to the males. And most of it is I feel that I like to empower women, and I feel that we need to have more voices to be heard in the society. So
previously our bosses were male Japanese bosses, but now you see female bosses taking over.
Right. Okay, so now we already say Elon Musk is you're going to switch brain with Elon Musk. Now, how do you define failure? May I ask you?
What is that?
How do you define failure? What is that? What is that? Failure. Failure, like, cannot cook an egg, or you cannot do cannot do TikTok, kind of thing.
What I meant was, to me, failure is in the middle of a process of your journey to success. It's a journey to perfection. A lot of people go like, oh, it's a failure, it's a full stop. But for me, it's halfway. It's like saying, I don't know how to cook rice and I burn my rice. Do you stop there? You don't,
No.
until you get your rice cooked. You will do it 2-3 times. So is it called failure, or is it called trial and error? Or is it called learning when it's a
learning curve, learning process, right?
Or is it a middle of a journey where you go, it's a sign to adapt, it's a sign to change, it's a sign to improve, it's a sign to move forward with something else, because it's about adjustment. Business is adjustment. Even as a personal self-improvement is an adjustment. When you hit a wall, you go, it's not even like a toy knows how to hit a wall and reverse and move, and so it's natural that for me, I don't understand failure because I got a very extreme character. When I'm interested in something, I'm gonna go all the way, and I want to figure this out, and I want to know how to do it until I get it. So to me, failure is a part of the journey to perfecting. So that's how I see it.
Well said. I just hope that everyone has the same thought, right? I think then everyone will be on the way to achieve whatever they wanted to achieve. So like for me, I always say this: wanting to start or wanting to do something, planning it is everyone can do it, but finishing it, I guess not everyone managed to do it, because the finishing the whatever that you plan takes up a lot of courage and understanding about the perspective and changing the choice of words and things like that, so that we move on into our destinations. So for you, failure is way of life, is part of it, and I totally agree with you, because that is also how I train my brain to look at things. Because frankly speaking, failure don't have to have a negative connection into that, right?
No.
Who say it has to be a bad thing? I think the more we feel in our early stage, better lah. You don't already only feel, right? Correct.
It's good to learn from it, I don't know. You need failures to succeed. You need failures to appreciate success.
Right. Okay. So now, in this case itself, when we were doing along, and times and again in my environment, I always say that any problems, any issue, any society issue, any crisis, right? There's always a saying that say, oh no, whatever that solve all these things is called, there's always love to solve all these things. Because the more we loving our world, loving our society, loving our people, that is where we have a tendency to solve a lot of problems that is happening in this world. So we need more kindness and love in the society. Do you agree, and why?
Yes, I think honestly, COVID has shown how much love and care there is in this community. A lot more than I mean, we say we know, but right now with COVID, you see people helping other people. You see people coming out to do good. You know, so even when I'm stuck at home, I actually, you know, it really eggs me. So I try to donate to the poor, you know, because they need urgent help. They really have nothing to eat. So I help the needy. And of course, I don't know why, but when I look at Facebook, when I look at all the amazing food on Facebook, I go, why don't we just share some, you know, share a little bit with the other people who are like so hungry, you know, and just sharing a bit will make another person's life so much more enriching because they got nothing to eat. I like to help animals because who is helping animals? Because they have no voice, they have no one to advertise for them. So helping animals is one of my other calling that I would say I'm sensitive to. I think these two main things, and of course PPEs. I know everybody's doing their part, donating to PPEs to be produced to give to the hospitals. Yeah, but we should all do a small part, and it will really enrich other people's lives.
Right.
Even
so
yours.
So like today, right, I came across a posting of my friend, and I think that is quite meaningful. Like, you know, like there's always perspective in the society. Example, the MCO is being extended for another 1 month. So if you like it, it's good. If you don't like it, be kind. Now, if some of us have to stay home and we can go to office. So if you like it, it's fine. If you don't like it, be kind. So I get the point, the part of like be kind at the things that we don't like, because what we don't like, we don't need to be so fast, so quick to be showing our point of view. Simple reason is because it's only from our perspective, right? So I think that part itself, I think the social media as the same thing is like no need to have too much of negativity and perspective going on too much, because it will never end, isn't it? What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you do your part. I think that's most important. You do your part in the society, and that's good enough.
Yes.
Better than not doing anything. So because the society needs it badly.
Right. Badly, right?
And badly. And honestly, it has taught me to be so grateful, so grateful with what I have, because, you know, we take it for granted. You know, we are always in the rat race for so many years, like just chasing ambition. And I have my selfish thinking too. To me, is I work hard. As long as I contribute to my parents, I take care of my family. My job's done. I did my part. I'm a good human being. And then, you know, at the rat race is like, it's what I earn, I should, you know, compliment and, you know, spoil myself and then take care of my family. And then whatever happens in the world, look, I can't take care of everybody, you know? So it's a very rat race city behavior. And then suddenly you stop, right? But it's so good because you always, every one of us who's been working for years have always said, oh, I got no time to do this. Oh, I got no time to do that. Oh, I got no time to start this. You know, now you have so much time.
Say,
right?
Take it.
You know, it's so much time. And I'm like going, you know what? It's really like for us who are blessed and who has a roof on top of our heads. It's don't waste this unique opportunity in your life. Sit there and go, what can I do with this precious time? Like, do you read? Do you paint? Do you dance to TikTok like I did? Like think of things that you've always wanted to do and never got a chance. And now you have the chance. So do it, and then guess what? You'll be going back to the rat race very soon. Once they find the vaccine and then everything is over. What, you going to go back and go like, oh, if only I did that when I had the time again, because your chance is now,
Yeah, I think that one we somehow have a lot of times to do. We have a lot of times to do what we want to do, but at the same time, we also have that extra time to start pondering about a lot of things, like how blessed we are with our surroundings, right? And how some others, they may not be as blessed as ours. Like for me, I think I never spent so much time in my house before. For the past so many, I never spent so much time, and I told myself, I think I should stop buying clothes. I should stop buying shoes.
I know.
And today is very funny because I was telling my assistant, I say, can you please go and fix my bag because my handle is broken. And then my wallet also go and fix the zip because it's broken. Because I feel like somehow, somewhere it taught me that, it's okay. It's okay. No one's going to judge you just because you fix your things. No one is going to judge you just because it's old. I think a lot of people will start judging you if you do not show your kindness and love, because as we grow older, as at different stages of our life, we start judging people on the different aspect of life, and that is where we see all these small little things, which speaks more louder, and what money, that how deep is the pocket, or how powerful is that person. So I don't know. That is my kind of realization as I grow older. Maybe I am going to very zen already, but somehow, somewhere I feel it's very important when I find friends. If you start talking to me about money and power, I'm not a big fan. But of course, I like it. But before that, can we see whether you are a good person or not, a kind person? Or not? I think that's
most important.
Yeah, that's a bit. Now, we also have a lot of people agree, and I think that part of your success is a part of it. I think a lot of people really like it, especially Mr. Lai. Okay, Mr. Lai asked you this question. Having said that being a Japanese brand, different culture, how do you incorporate the woman into Malaysian culture, a woman's set of mind? Now, is there any difference the way Shiseido implement their branding and their campaign and their woman empowerment in Japan and also is in Malaysia? Is anything has to be done in terms of the cultural differences?
Not really, because generally Japanese culture or company they're very, very respectful. And the way they work is very different, because I work for American companies, I've worked for French companies, and actually I had to get used to this Japanese culture. They are so trustworthy that they really empower whoever that is in that position. They don't micromanage. Japanese don't do that. They don't micromanage. They trust a lot. So where else other companies, it's like really breathing down your throat and neck. So because they believe that when you're in a position and you should uphold some level of integrity when you do your business, some level of that you will do your best for the company. So that is the Japanese culture that gives so much empowerment in the Asian culture, which if you ask me, sometimes I think they need to control us a bit because there's too much empowerment, because Malaysians, Malaysia, nobody's, So I think, there should be a balance, but generally, they're very respectful. They really respect the seat. Like if you're in it, and they believe that whatever you recommend will be the best for your country. They're very open-minded that way.
Okay, so awesome. So like we have Calvin say that failure is a part of journey to perfecting. Penny also like the part that you say you need to failure to appreciate success. Now, in this case itself, we also have Dati Winnie in the house, which is always so supportive. They say hi, Steve, to hi, Stephanie. Now, you see, time passes so fast when we are doing this kind of interview, and we are almost at the end of this interview already. Now, in this part, where I went to the last part of the interview, I want to ask you this question, and this question is quite interesting. Now, given a choice when you're able to host interview, right? So you have a chance to interview one person in your field. It can be any person at all. So who would it be and why?
In my field?
Maybe not. You can be your field, or it can be anyone in the world. You just you just really want that opportunity to ask this person, interview this person, and you know what? If you have this opportunity of a lifetime, your bucket list will be ticked off. Now, who would it be and why?
Okay, I would choose Madonna because because she is in a cutthroat business industry for 30 years. And she has never stopped reinventing herself. And it's not easy. And, I would like to ask her what goes through her mind. How does she set the trend? How does she break culture, insulting people's culture almost? What goes through her mind?
I still can get away with it, right?
Well, she does, and she doesn't care, which is the beauty of it. Yeah.
Right.
But the fact that people reinvent themselves, but the way she reinvented herself, like she started with like pop R&B.
Right.
Next thing you know, she's doing EDM with DJs. She's doing different ballads, she's doing pop songs, she's doing techno, and then she started to collaborate with young singers, and when she did that, people go like, wow, you so old, you go and you go and collaborate with the young one, but she saw that she could get new fans with the younger. Yes, so she never stopped, and every time she changes herself, it's for like a new audience, to be able to reinvent yourself to get your sustainable audience, I think is easier. But to be able to get new audience all the time with new generation coming all the time, now that's magic. That's not easy.
Are you talking about my princess Datin Winnie Lu? She seems to be quite amazing, She's everywhere. She's doing TikTok. She's doing this. She's doing that. She's doing
cooking.
Right, that every day you have a hairstylist, new hairstylist that is more innovative, more creative that is coming up. She don't care, right? And that's why, like for the past 40 over years, she's still number one in Malaysia. I think that itself, I think there is a similarity between all these successful women up there. Like, in order to stay there for the longest time, you brought out a very good point, which is the innovations. Because if you don't innovate, you will be signed off very soon, because it's an old school of thought, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so without much ado, do you have any one advice or anything that you like to summarize it to all the audience in the house for being so nice, for liking and comment and share this Facebook Live, and also being here and spending the last 1 hour with us to listen from the legendary Stephanie Tay, for being the first Malaysians to be in the global position in the Royal HQ in Paris. I think that is an amazing job for you. So what is your last statement or last sharing that you'd like to give the audience?
We cannot win alone, no matter what we do. That means like you always need to win, you need a team. So in life, you need a community. So that's how I would see the world.
And a positive community, right? You were saying?
Yeah, and a positive community.
All right. And we're very excited because I think we are also in the discussion of doing some collaborations going on between High Fly Asia and Shiseido. I will keep it a little bit hush-hush here because we're having our deep conversation this Friday. And I can't wait to share what we are doing. Especially, I think we also will be working along the part of women empowerment. I think that is what we can give a hint to all the audience in the house. Thank you, Stephanie Tay, for joining us this 1 hour. Now, I will probably just put you down a little bit so that I can share with others about who is our next guest for our next week. Yeah. Thanks, Steph. I'll see you on Friday. Yeah. Bye-bye. Okay, so thank you very much, guys, for joining me on this Facebook Live. Now, one more time I would like to ask is, because now a lot of businesses are already going to work and going to the office. I'd like to ask the audience a little bit. Now you prefer to have me doing this Facebook Live at 8 o'clock or 9 p.m. On every Wednesday. So I would like you all to give me your feedback, which is better, 8 or 9 p.m. So if you could kind enough to be typing out the answer on the comment, so I can have more feedback to find out which is the better time for me to do this Facebook Live. Other than that, sincerely thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining us this Wednesday. We have Stephanie already shared a very amazing sharing regarding about how you can be branding yourself in the corporate environment. But to me, I feel that there's nothing different between branding yourself in the corporate and also in the business environment. It's the same. You know, everything is not easy. It's all about perseverance, about seeing failure as part of the journey. Now, all this is being said again and again. Okay. Next week itself, next Wednesday, we will be having Nadia Heng. Nadia Heng will be my guest. Now, Nadia Heng is a very famous MC in Malaysia, and she is also previously she was also a Miss Malaysia World. And let's hear what she has to say regarding branding herself in the hosting and the entertainment environment. Now it's going to be exciting because I love to use Nadia Heng as one of my MC because not only she is a Pan Asian, she's very hardworking. She do her own work and she knows. We pretty much in all my event when I hire her, I don't have to worry a lot about anything about controlling the crowd or even making the event as nice as possible. So with that itself, I will then share about the poster about next week event, and I hope that you can join me next week, next Wednesday. We will be deciding very soon about 8 or 9 based on the feedback that we are getting. Other than that, stay strong, stay safe, and take good care of yourself. And bye bye.